Hello everyone, Frizzler, and welcome back to Ostriv. Um, yes, it's been updated. Guy is a Ukrainian developer, and he lives in Ukraine, and posted something about them having to take a break with what's happened to the Ukraine and the invasion. But and he posted that everyone was okay and that they get back to work, and they have done when they could, and they have been able to because there's been an update, quite the update actually. Um, with more buildings being added. Um, you know, not that it's finished. There's still work to do, but it's basically just adding, polishing the game has already been great, and I've played it a couple times on the channel. I'll link one of the videos in the description. But it's been changed. Um, Not fundamentally. I mean, a lot of things are the same, but there are a lot of new features added. And now when you go to maps, it tells you what resources are on the map. Um, Basic ones like sand, uh, sorry, not sand, limestone, stone, and like iron ore. What's limited, what's unlimited. Um, so those things come into play without a doubt now more. Auto save for no. Um, well, it auto saves because it's supposed to, but I'm not building. So, anyways, we're on map 2 here. So let's for settlement. Trying to find a place where we can get good reads, but this looks great, but there's not a lot of building area. Um, Houses. There's an island right here we could build. Oh, I think actually, I guess like an island right here. On this place, stone right there too. Oh, limestone deposit. You know what? Why not? Let's give it a shot building river. Uh, Might be close to the wood. Let's put right. Uh, okay. Well, I guess we can't build on the island. Pretty even grounded though, which but might be the location over. Let's put it right here. Okay, so some things don't change. The forestry is still almost um so you get that, and then there are other things you want to get going. That I feel like the smithy definitely get going soon. Um, you need that. For um, oh yeah, and there's a new thing. Clay pits now have to be actually built. They're not just instant. They don't instantly show up, and you have clay. Yeah, so for example, if I can find a place to say can't dig clay here. That's what it says. So you're like, okay, well, I'm working clay well over. So so the clay pit takes almost fully built. To say the least, it's okay there. I put a house. There's also a sand pit. Yep. And charcoal pit. Charcoal pit. Yeah, the charcoal pit is still instantly built. Now that we got that going, let's get the houses. So now the houses come village house with garden, or just a village house. So everyone a garden. Houses go. 9 people. 9 houses. 9 tents. Got it. Got it. What exact numbers are. That's just that'd be good. Battery. And now comes the problem. Okay. Let's oh, and the saturated. Oh. Saturated. Page. Yep. Okay. Saturating all the reasons. Satrum. Alright. So as you can as is common, they, you see, the buildings here are always, I liked how I always liked how they did this, here, where you step by step pretty much builders as they build things. This has, all the resources are collected for this. The clay thing doesn't require, any resources, so to speak. To pause everything, except for the forestry clay pit. Because the clay pit, build the smithy, you need clay. We'll build almost any building clay except for the forestry and the clay pit. Pause that house. Pause the factory. Pause forest. Are they all built in the clay pit now? No? Oh, they're back to the forestry. Okay, good. Let's step here and get the forestry built. So, actually I'll highlight some changes. So there's this. Your house would be by decorating your stone. So decorations are now a thing. So there are tons of decorations that you can put all over the place. So you can put arches, you can put bell posts, you can put birdhouses, trees, benches, all types of stuff. I'm not sure if the benches are functional as a thing. But yeah, let's put around actually. Actually, I'll wait until we have houses, kind of paths. But we could probably put bell posts. So bell posts next to kind of building. I should probably hold shift. Put a bell post next production building, except for the clay. The clay, that kind of isn't. Oh yeah. So yeah, and so then other things that have changed when you click the villager, it tells you you have a personal log. So like what happened, when they arrived, they arrived, and most of the time they have thoughts. Right down, yeah, so right down here. I didn't hear it was my friend's idea. Probably should have. Right. Personal log is where you can also find important information, kind of in terms of like sort of child. Sometimes you see that problem here, like let's see, find one that doesn't that is different. Yeah, hello. Um, some of them are really actually happy with their life. I can find a villager that has a thought that's like, yeah, I'm glad to be. Oh, that's interesting. That's a philosophical question. Yeah, see, there's something about the everyday life. So your villagers all have thoughts. I'm not sure if there's a particular type of mechanic involved with like, maybe if they become discontent enough. But I haven't seen anything that suggests that that's a big mechanic. So first three done. So let's see. We have how many? We have nine tents. Excuse me, 9 houses with fences. So let's get guys forestry work. And now so I want to get this clay pit built as quick as possible, and then we can pause things. But the clay pit is neat because we need clay to build houses, and houses to build. So yeah, it says create. So yeah, 9 families and tents. Clay pit is finished. Okay, so now we can get now we can get the building thing going. Pause all the houses so they can build houses at their. And we'll unpause the thatchery too, because you never know. We might need thatch. So we start with a pretty good supply of thatch, but we might need more. The reason I built the smithy right after that, you used to not have to build the smithy until much later on. But then nails, one of the updates, they really cut down the nails that you could start out with. You start with a lot of nails. So you start with iron ore, right there. Sorry, iron. Yeah. So you start with maybe not iron ore, but iron. So you start with a lot of iron, and charcoal and iron is what make nails. So you got the charcoal bit right here. Firewood, which come because as we do. But and then you got this, and actually the charcoal pit. What? Yeah, you can now hire children to do it. Not hire men to do the charcoal pit. Now the charcoal pit, tons of people bring wood to the charcoal pit, and if you have everyone on hire, you'll see everyone do it. Because the thing is, a lot of the women are sitting over here, and not really, they don't, and because there's not really a lot of jobs for them to do right now. But when it comes to carrying firewood over here, that is one job that they can do. And so if you have Yeah, but you don't want the men going away from the construction work or anything like that. So if you uncheck men to do this job, all the women and children will come do it since there's enough firewood. So you'll see everyone from here get up, and you'll probably see some kids emerge from tents. So, got 4, 5. We got 7 children, although a lot of them are pretty young. And that could carry, a couple logs. Yeah, a 6-year-old. Although he might already be building. What? Older. He is 6 years older than mine. Yeah, forgive me if I get the genders wrong. The names are very foreign to me. And so I'm not sure how to pronounce some of them or they go to which gender. I have consulted the Ukrainian about pronunciations and mechanics and things in this game, such as women not construction. As would that be a thing back in 1721? It used to be in the 1770s, so it's been pushed back about 55 years. So and I asked, would that be, and she said, oh yeah. Then there's she goes, it was definitely because when it comes to labor jobs like construction, because that's training, especially back in this date. So because I had someone because I was talking about this game with my sister, and she goes, kind of sexist, don't you think? And I said, well, fairly. I said, it's a different world back then. I mean, nowadays in Philippines, you'll see a lot of construction jobs are held by guys, because probably enjoy it, and just the fact that but I mean that's all I'm gonna say about that. Before I get going after me, oh, you're biased. I'm biased. Just thoughts that at the time. So charcoal pit's coming along well. So what will happen is that once the charcoal pit has enough firewood, it will there'll be a little, so to speak, burn charcoal, and then the deal with charcoal. So collecting, I believe, iron right now. Oh yeah, so he's got 500 iron. That will keep occupied for a while. Nails are not made quickly. But he should have enough nails made. And for thatch. How is this on up? How is this? That thatch rebuilt. Those house and that house. Need that thatch rebuilt. Thatch. At the thatchery, this game, one thing I've always done with the thatchery is I've always made it a woman's job. Because you want to utilize your populace. In any city builder, you want to utilize your populace as much as possible by having as many people as you can doing certain jobs. And now, there aren't very many city builders that are gender. That have genders that matter, genders matter with the jobs. There are some where it does matter, in terms of like how they build or things like that. But there aren't very many that restrict jobs. There are some, but there aren't many that restrict jobs based on gender. It's age. So, and then there's Land of the Vikings, where your stats will actually determine everything. Oh, and it's also a cultural thing. But, if you look at Vikings, but um, there wasn't really any discrimination in Viking history when it came down to warriors and maidens, because everyone it just was like of a mind of like we're all in this together. We all need to work, get things done. So there wasn't so like when men went away to war and men were left at if there was a woman left at the home front, it wasn't a matter of because in some cultures they would hire a man would would hire somebody, or they would hire, or they'd get together with their family, and like have hire like maybe guards or something like that, to look after the homestead, because like there'd be people trying to seize, but and they'd hire guards because wife can't run the homestead necessarily by herself. But in a lot of Viking, or not that that didn't happen, but there was something said about no, you don't that because you know because most men who were at the home front probably knew how to handle a sword, and so if you tried to take somebody's land and his wife was home, that could go badly for. That's the yeah. Wow. Whoa. Oh, okay. I thought that was 270 for a minute. Okay. We got a pretty good amount of thatch left, but it's never a bad idea. Kind of like the smithy. It's never a bad idea to, smithy we're going to need no doubt. And the thatch, we probably need eventually. Um, so we don't need necessarily this really, but it's never a bad idea to get ahead of resources being needed, so to speak. So, anyways, while we're waiting for all that, let me slow down a little bit. Actually, let me leave this out. Okay, so they're building that. So, so a couple other things to highlight. So production has gotten different. There's a lot more buildings now. So there's a fulling mill. That's new. There was a distillery. It looks different now, though. The fishing dock it also looks different now. And they got rid of. They used to have a Actually, it might be right here. Okay, so they have the platform. They have now though is a. They used to have just this well and another really sad looking. They have this well now though, which is a stone well. Because stone is now a thing, and so government same, and then education. This is new. So they didn't have a school. Religion is not new. Health, this is new too. They didn't have a surgery, and you see all the resources that are required there. So there are a lot of different, like the sand pit isn't. That's the place where you can stand. There's a smeltery for iron or charcoal. There's an orchard now, and the orchard is not necessarily new, but it's not. It's a lot more fleshed out than it. And there are a lot of buildings, that are just and resources and things that are coming. So, there's just some new mechanics, new types of things, and new things that need to be built. Also, this is a battery, so it's pause everything else. And then let's go to the Thatchery. So hiring options. Pick men. No men. Hire a woman. Thatcher. Now I usually have just one woman doing thatch. Because I used to have two. And then figured out and this was before I started playing it on the channel, that one person alone, the thatch gets really crazy. In fact, at one point I had to keep upping the thatch in storage because it was full, full in the warehouse, and it was full at the building. Your thatch is friend. She's going to get. I'll read. Mind you, down here. Your thatch person really, really do a good job. They will really go to work or go to town. So, so let's see, 420, 928 nails, and he got 90 nails. Okay, the nail making has been the nail. Well, the great person makes nails. That's a lot of nails. I know we've sped up time at times, but you get a lot of nails. So, anyways, so you see, we've got 6 families in tents, so to speak, and so they still give you like a camp leader, or mayor, so now. So, and then there's a lot more of this. Look at the population. So this has all been updated a lot more, The coins are still here, and I understand, why, but not much more mechanical on the fact that and it might be that might just be the case, that's used fine. And that there are some games where there are coins, and the coins, really are implemented, but so coins might be implemented. They might not be fully implemented yet. What to do with the coins? So there's 6 houses. Each time you build a house, one of the tents will, instead of showing this, it will say this family's in the house, and the tent eventually just there's one of the houses. So yeah, see, you've already got 100 thatch. So your thatchery is crazy. Sure. So yeah, so there's warehouses. Oh, there's a smaller grain, and there's a hay barracks, and there's a big one. So there's the warehouse right there. So the storage is not there because they didn't have a stone storage. It had cart parking, cart shed though. They didn't have a wagon shed. They had a stable. Also, something to think about when you eventually you get to a government building, and government building would allow you to do is seasonal hiring, where basically you can go to buildings that mark off season and on season. So you could go to, say, the forestry, like in the winter it's the off season, chopping wood down in the off season, so to speak, or like I don't want you going outside in the off season, it's cold. And so then, so the off season, so you mark in the off season you have no workers, and the on season you have 2. So then you go to other buildings where you need people, but you can't have them all the time because they have their jobs like construction or forestry or stuff like that. So you'd say, like, you'd go to the carpentry and say, from November to February is your on season. On season you have 2 workers, and so people from other buildings or in the off season don't work there. And then you say, and in the off season, like you have no workers. It's like in the off season, so like during the winter you build tons of carts, and you have the carpentry work it needs to do, and then it's off season, it doesn't do back to their normal jobs, and so on and so forth. And that's also useful, because you don't want to just take a worker away from a building and then try and put him back there, and you can't get him back because he's already working somewhere else, and then the building is banned. nice to have off-season, on-season task different buildings, and that's also a good way to say take a building. Say you have more nails than what you go to smith it. Um, okay, like I'm gonna have you this. Um, and I have you work only a couple of months out of the year because you know. So I'm gonna have you work at this other building. So you find another building and you say one worker and you mark a few more of those on season that. Um, Now I saw that implemented with all buildings, including farms. I'm not sure if he's that because farms, like the mechanic would probably already exist, but you don't go there during when you don't plant during certain months. Although there might be something said about like plowing and stuff like that, so unknown whether or not that's a thing. Um, so maybe it's changed things, maybe it hasn't. I don't know. But yeah, I really am liking what he's done. This and they always had this, but this right here. So the villager thoughts are nice, and also I think in such a I've always admired the water and the way things are built. The how you see them together. Such and just the whole, just all of it is always really good. Always really been well done, and the paths themselves too. That really, you don't build roads. The paths are determined by the way villagers walk. So eventually, paths form based on the path they walk. Um, Roads are very organic and natural in that way of, why is there a road there? It's like, well, because they walk there all the time and the ground got worn, and so now there's like a natural road coming into place. Which is kind of, how how roads just, were built, back in the old days when we started getting more roads and vehicles and such. It was just, okay, well, how do people walk certain places? So they take this path, okay, and we'll build a road that way, Um, and of course, roads have also been built to help guide people. So, um, or have been built because they're necessary. So, um, anyways, I'm gonna leave here for now. I'm really liking the new update and such. And I'll keep this village saved, and we'll come back to it um, in a later video. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the new Ostriv. It's on sale in Steam. Get it now. So kind of part of the development. I was I remember way a long time ago when I got this back when it lived on Humble actually. I jumped in early on the support and said, yeah, you do it now. You get a key, when it goes on the seat. So I was like, well, I'm on board with that. And then when it went there, I got the key. But I really do enjoy Ostriv. I like Ostriv. I like the developer. When he was making it, he mentioned, hey, I'm just one guy, making it, making this by himself now, and it's got more popular, he's got more supporters. He was able to hire more people, but for a long time it was one guy working on it, So and when the place I heard, but I was glad they okay. Anyways, that's enough yapping from. Like I said, I'm gonna leave it here. But we'll come back to this. So guys, thanks for watching. Hit a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It would definitely help me out. Until next time, this is Brezler, logging off.